shall be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass.
Yeah.
And thou shalt know that his rust have not altogether been.
And I mean,
wiped
you got a
away.
lot of Jakes that are looking at this devil sideways, man. Like, okay, what's he talking about now? Let's hear what this nigga got to say. Jake is calling these well, they ain't no longer crackers. They're about to be niggas now. We're about to be the crackers. But yeah, I mean, you know, Jake is looking at these niggas sideways, like, okay, let me hear what this nigga got to say. You know, I feel this is some bullshit under his tongue. What he's about, like, basically what he's saying is there's some bullshit behind what he's saying, you know?
Right.
Yep.
So that's what Jake is doing. Jake is looking at Esau as it is written, looking at him real closely as a magnifying glass.
His skirt's being lifted.
Yeah.
And it literally is, because Esau's flipping into that transgender shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they got this filth. What's this rapper's name? Little Nas X.
Yeah.
They put his ass on front display because you know what I was thinking, right? I think I was talking to you about it before.
Yeah.
Right? And what it is what Esau wants to do. Esau wants to get the younger generation, corrupt their minds. The generation that comes after our generation, I think that would be Generation Y, I believe. Generation Z.
Bloody hell.
Because they can't get us. Because we're coming from the old world order. So the people that's coming from the old world order, they already got our numbers. We can't do nothing to them. Because Esau thinks long term. They actually believe, as the scripture says, that their houses will continue forever. And they have a long time to rule. So all they got to do is get the younger generation, fuck their minds up, right? And then with their minds being fucked up, they can govern this new generation and lead this generation in the way that they see fit, because their minds all messed up anyway. And that's how you better enslave the people in the eyes of Esau. Just make them mentally ill or make them physically ill. The sick people make better slaves.
Yes. If I may add, say again, I think I mentioned this as well when we was talking. The saying, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. And our people, they were flipping, sitting on their asses, like just when Esau's pushing more and more wicked shit, they're just sitting on their asses. Now look what's happened. Now it's right in front of your face on BET Awards ceremony. You got two men lip-syncing. Now you're going to get offended. It's like, boy, did you not see all the wickedness that led up to this?
Exactly. They miss all of that.
Man?
So this is the thing with Esau. So when you call yourself having a cure for cancer or having a cure for diseases that you can't, as the doctor says, can't die, they're gonna shut your shit down. They might even go for you like they did my man Dr. Sebi, because the whole agenda is like I said, the whole agenda is to keep you sick so that you can be a better slave. You can be vulnerable. If you're wholesome, that means you're gonna be strong. You're gonna be able to stand up for yourself and go your own way. But how can you go your own way when you're sick? You need help when you're sick.
Yes.
So that's how Esau wants to retain power over you, is by making sure that you're sick so you can cleave unto him and you can be a better slave.
Yeah. That's
we know the game, man. We know Esau very well. Go on, brother.
To add to your point, Salaki, I was going to say, Esau tries to put Jake in a state of dependency.
Yes.
So you're always looking to him for everything. Because he knows that if he was to be independent, this is why he bombed Black Wall Street and stuff.
Yeah.
If he was to be independent, we wouldn't need his ass and we'd surpass his ass.
Yeah. We'll take over him easy. Probably overtake what they got. Like what we did in ancient Rome.
Right.
We took over ancient Rome.
I've got one for you, quick one.
Go on, brother.
So Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
Right, and the gift destroyeth the heart. That's what they want to do. They want to turn away your hearts from the right path, so that you can regain trust to them. They can regain your trust in them. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to do.
Can I just add a point?
Go on, brother.
What was that BET, whatever it was, right? Where that little Nas was kissing that guy up.
Yeah.
Kissing up the guy. If all of those guys, right, supposed to be like men, just got up and walked out.
Yeah.
Right? But the gift destroys the heart. They're on the payroll, innit?
Yeah.
They're on the payroll. So
They're getting paid, yeah.
They're going to shut their mouth, zip their mouth, sit there and take it all in and lap it all up.
And if I may, that was a satanic ritual. Everybody in that room knew what was going on. And they're all complicit with it. It was just a ritual, man. And that really was to, like you said, get the minds of the children of this generation to think, oh, I saw him doing it, it's okay. Then that child's going to go to school.
Yeah.
He might see his friend and start kissing him.
Yeah.
And people say, teacher might say,
what
are you
the
doing?
fuck?
Yeah.
No, the teacher can't even say what you're doing anymore because they have to be for it.
Well, guess what? I'm gonna hit you worse than that, right? what the teachers are now doing, they're teaching children how to sodomize one another.
Oh,
That's what they're doing. Added on top
I ain't
of
trying to
what
go. I
Lil
ain't
Nas
trying to go
X
to
did.
prison, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't got no children anyway, so fuck you now.
That's what they're pushing right now with the kids. They're teaching kids how to fist in and all of this sodomite
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
nonsense. That's what they're teaching. So when you got an artist like Lil Nas X, which he's paid, he's on the, like you said, brother, he's on the paid role. As the scripture says, for the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yep.
He's gonna invoke evil because he's getting paid doing it, man. Even this nigga I used to listen to back in the day, man. What's his name? Manny Fresh and Juvenile, right? He's now talking about backs that ass up. Like, it's crazy. Like, Jake would do anything for the money, man. A lot of these, because these sheiks are just low level. That's why they were able to sell their souls. You gotta be a low, trifling individual to sell your ass anyway.
Most are gonna get that motherfucker, boy.
And that's who Esau wants to keep pushing his agenda.
Yeah.
Because that's not how Jake is. Jake don't act like that. The average Jake don't be acting like these little Negroes on TV. Now, don't get me wrong. You got the ones of our people that act on what they see on TV because they don't know. They're ignorant to the agenda. But I'm just saying, on the real, a lot of Jakes are waking up out of that stupor. They're no longer under that hip hop influence with which as you can say it as it is.
Yeah.
Go on, brother. You wanted to say something?
No, I remember back when I was in that other camp. You remember the brothers then when we was in that other camp, and it was like one of them nights, and I went out to dash some things to the bins, throw things to the bins, and I see two L's, Les, like doing the thing, and like my spirit came in me, man. I went round the corner, went round the back, pick up something. Yeah, I don't want to say everything on details, right? And they started with it, right? So I said to the elder, I did such and such and such. He said, "Did anyone see?" He said, "No," but my conscience said, "No." Which I know better now. Wait on the Most High.
Yeah.
That time gonna come when we're going to be able to do that. Literally.
Yeah.
The Leviticus law. But that's the kind of spirit that Jake's got. On the right hand side for those who are on the right hand side, we got that spirit. We gonna get them, man. They ain't gonna get away.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I mean, it's just a matter of time. You just gotta just bear this nonsense for a particular point in time, and eventually to be done with. Go on, brother.
This is the time we're in, because this is spiritual warfare. That whole thing with the ceremony of Nas and stuff, that is spiritual warfare, because when you see that in your spirit, you're supposed to be, no, that's not right, man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go against it, not with it. But some of our people are just like sitting there like Mr. Potato Head or something, just nodding their head to what's going on. But this is Revelation 12. I'm going to go to 17. It says, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keepeth the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahushua." So all these things, like what we're seeing on the TV, even YouTube coming against us, this is part of Esau, the dragon, coming against the saints of the Most High.
Yeah.
So it's just every day, man, it's something new, but they're coming after us.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that we're the ones that they're coming against, but they can't really openly say it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, brothers, is they can't get us because we know them left, right hand, and center. Like, we know them from top to bottom. So it's like they can't really do it. But the younger generation, their thing is let's go and get these people, and let's get them fucked up, because we know we may rule for another 100 years, but it ain't gonna work, man. That's not gonna work. And you know what they're conveying as well, without them even realizing it through the spirit? They're conveying that America is what? Sodom and Egypt. That's what they're conveying. And what's going to happen to that place? It's going to be obliterated and destroyed. And it will be made an example, like how Sodom and Gomorrah was made an example of how not to conduct on the earth, not how to govern a society on the earth. So I mean, yeah, it was disgusting to see, but it's also leading towards what? The end of this world. That's how you know man, you can't have no doubt of knowing that this place is going to be destroyed.
That's right.
Sometime or another, this place will be destroyed, man. Whether it's by a world war, which all of it's going to happen anyway.
Okay, all right.
All of that is going to happen. You're going to have a world war, and then you're going to have the coming of the Lord.
All right.
So what Lil Nas X did for the world to see,
Sealed the deal.
sealed the deal. Sealed the deal for the Lord to come back. Sealed the deal so that we can be firm in believing that, okay, Yahushua's going to come back, man.
You know, we might see his arse from the chariot getting burnt up, man. Lord willing. But this
You know?
is Revelation, to confirm what the elder said. Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which is spiritually called Sodom,
which is
and Egypt.
spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Because America's taking on the vibration of Sodom and as well as Egypt. You have a couple of obelisks in America. You have an obelisk that I believe is one in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
One in New York, I believe it is, right? And I believe you have one in California somewhere, in another state. But all of those obelisks go back to Egypt originally. They found them in Egypt and stationed those obelisks in those key states. So America's carrying on that vibration of Egypt and as well as Sodom. So as I'm going to say again, what they did to Little Nas X, because he was on the payroll, right? And he's serving the almighty dollar, which is no longer going to be mighty.
Yep.
Once they deduct the currency of the once used to be almighty dollar, right? Driving up your goods to skyrocket in price. Again, he's conveyed the point that America is Sodom and Egypt. All right?
Precept.
Go on, brother.
Revelation 3 verse 17. Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increased with goods, and have no need of nothing, knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable, and poor and blind and naked.
You read that again?
Revelation 3 verse 17, because little Nas X took the money.
Yeah.
Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable, and poor and blind and naked. It says, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and that thou anoint thine eyes with eye salve.
God. Yeah, so what you can do, brother, we're done with that, so I want you to go back to the Huffington Post and read that article. Finish off that article, and then we're going to get some other precepts as well.
Okay. So back in the article once again, it says, I got to the point where it says, let's just start from the top again. UN Human Rights Chief, in a landmark report launched after the killing of George Floyd in the United States, is urging countries worldwide to do more to help end discrimination, violence, and systemic racism against people of African descent, to make amends to them, including through reparations.
And there'll always be racial discrimination. As long as Esau's in power, there'll always be racial discrimination. It's not going anywhere. And it always happened when the other nations conquered other nations. That was racial discrimination as well. Racial discrimination cannot be ended. It ain't going anywhere. Go on, brother.
So it says, the report from Michelle Bachelet, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, offers a sweeping look at the roots of centuries of mistreatment faced by African people of Africans and of people of African descent, notably from the transatlantic slave trade. It seeks a transformative approach to address its continual impact today.
And you know what the proof of that is? Because they calling us black and Africans. That's how you know it's going to be continual bullshit or racial discrimination.
Yeah.
Because they know who we are. They know we know Africans. They know we're not blacks.
Yeah.
They know we're the Israelites. Go on, brother.
That's why it's very craftily worded.
Yeah.
It says the report, a year in the making, hopes to build on momentum around the recent intensified scrutiny worldwide about the blight of racism and its impact on people of African descent, as epitomized by the high-profile killings of unarmed black people in the United States and elsewhere. There is today a momentous opportunity to achieve a turning point for racial equality and justice.
And see, I'm going to say this as well, right? Because see, they like to pinpoint America. You know, they're the ones that's causing all of this melee with Jake, but Jake is getting the business all over the world. Wherever I'm talking about, especially around Europe. I don't mean to say all around the world. I meant to say Europe, because even in France, you got a lot of Jakes that are being racially discriminated against down there. You got Jakes that are being racially discriminated against in probably in Germany too. Italy. So it's not just America, and even down here in the UK, especially down here in the UK, Jake is being racially discriminated against as well by the police. And like if you thought that Jake was getting stopped by the police more often in America, no, Jake is getting stopped by the police 8 times more down here in this country here. That's what I found out. So this place right here and as well as America, they're neck and neck when it comes to racism, man. But the thing with England, what I noticed is, because, you know, I've went backwards and forwards in the States, as you can hear the tone of my voice, right? The thing with American racism, it's out there. It's declared. But the racism down here in the UK is very secret. It's very covert.
Yeah.
You know? Go on, brother. That's the difference. That's the only difference, but it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Go on, brother.
It says the report aims to speed up action by countries to end racial injustice and impunity for rights violations by police, to ensure people of African descent and those who speak out against racism are heard and face up to past wrongs through accountability and redress. I am calling on all states to stop denying and to start dismantling racism, to end impunity and to build trust.
And again, they need not to just aim this at America. They need to aim this at England, especially because England, it was by the men around Downing Street that allowed slavery, that actually propelled slavery to happen. What the UN, what the chief of the UN, what they need to do, or what he needs to do, he needs to pinpoint that message to the UK. Because England was responsible for the downfall of Jake all around. The reason why you had the European transatlantic slave trade, it all begun because of down here in the UK. Just to put it out there. Go on, brother.
Yeah, so it says, yes, while broaching the issue of reparations in her most explicit way yet, it would be a woman at the head of this, wouldn't it? Bachelet suggested that the monetary compensation alone is not enough and will be part of an array of measures to help rectify or make up for the injustices.
Yeah. Again, England is truly involved in that. They need to include England in that, because England played a heavy role, and it took the British to make America for what it is, as well. So it stems back to over here. But you know, obviously they're not going to do that, because that's getting down to the root of the issue.
Yeah.
Esau ain't going to do that, man. So Esau is just going to blame America. Oh, America's doing this, America's doing that. But the same shit that's going on in America is going on all over Europe, where Jake is at. And they don't put that out there. They don't put that kind of stuff out there in the media of Jake getting afflicted down in the realms of Europe too.
Yeah.
It's always America. Go on, brother. Like, America's just the only country that's doing it now. Yeah. All of you devils are afflicting Jake all around, man. Going on.
It says reparations should not only be equated with financial compensation, she wrote, adding that it should include restitution, rehabilitation, acknowledgement of injustices, apologies, memorialization, educational reforms, and guarantees that such injustices won't happen again.
And that's not going to happen. The true rehabilitation, as we just showed you in the scriptures, is going to come through Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
It's going to end with Yahweh, and then it's going to end. It started with the Most High, and it's going to end with the Most High. That's a big ass beat, man. Beautiful too.
Nice
I wouldn't mind if it landed on me. Go on, brother.
It says,
is that a white woman saying that? Or
I don't know who it
sounds
is.
like a black woman, man. Yeah.
But wherever it is, a woman should not usurp authority.
Yeah,
These women
yeah.
are always up in these calls and trying to be like, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But man, we want blood, man.
Yeah.
Simple.
I used to go to lectures, and when they used to talk, that's how they used to do. It's not just about money. They used to get into detail. So, you know, sounds like a black woman, so-called black woman.
I suspect it is.
Yeah.
It says Bachelet, a former president of Chile, hailed the efforts of advocacy groups like the Black Lives Matter movement, saying they've helped provide a grassroots leadership through listening to communities, and that they should receive funding, public recognition and support.
And you know what too as well, is you see this whole reparations thing, it can go a long way. And let me explain what I mean by that. What I mean by that is okay, if they're going to give us reparations, then guess what? You know who else is going to ask for reparations? The Latinos.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
so
Oh yeah.
They're going to probably be asking for reparations, including the Irish as well.
Yeah.
So this reparation thing is going to go a long way.
Minorities.
And the next thing you know,
minorities.
this society is going to be broke.
And then women are going to start saying, where do we go? They're going to start asking, fuck off, man. This is bullshit. It's all a joke, man.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate reason why they don't really want to talk about so-called black people discussing reparations, because it's going to open up a whole can of worms, and then they have to give money to this people that they've affected, this people who they affected, and all of that, and then some. And like I said, this society is going to be down on its luck.
Yeah.
And it's going to be down. It's going to be literally down on the ground, and that's just what it's going to be, you know. So let's not talk about that. Let's just.
Because there's a news report. There's a news report that a transgender got beat up really so bad, right? Think, you know what I'm saying? So that's out in the forefront, and okay, we heard about George Floyd, but there's many George Floyds, man,
Of course.
100,000. But it's all attention to the
They're just trying to focus you on that.
And now they're talking about the
tranny.
So they're gonna want that woman or man, whatever they call them, is gonna start talking about, we want reparations now.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna turn the direction to them.
Yeah.
If I might say, that's why I get pissed off with the news, man, because now it's all, every time you turn around, it's an article about, LGBTQ rights or transgender rights. You're telling me there's nothing more important in the world going on than the right, these people begging for rights? But this is what the media wants to push, because all this agenda, they're focusing everybody's attention on this because they're trying to get, as you said, the generation to accept it. It's all bullshit, man. So I'll read on, shall I?
You're going out.
Right, so it says, UN-backed Human Rights Council's commission the report during a special session last year following the murder of Floyd, a black American who was killed by a white police officer in Minneapolis on May 2020. The officer, Derek Chauvin, was sentenced to 22.5 years in prison.
And the nigga Derek Chauvin, whatever his fucking name is, he's free, man. He's out there
living his life.
He's with his wife and his children, man.
Right. On an island.
And you've got to look at the numbers as well. When they say he was sentenced to 22.5, it's all numerology, man.
Exactly.
So it says protests erupted after an excruciating bystander video showed how Floyd gasped repeatedly, "I can't breathe," as onlookers yelled at Chauvin to stop.
And you know what? And you know what as well? They've even found out that was all a play. That was all a played act.
Yeah.
That was all a psychological operation, man. As well. So I mean, see what Esau does. See, Esau will formulate these psychological operations, make things happen, and so that later on they can use that and convey a point. Oh, see, we need to do this.
Yeah.
Or we need to do that. We know the game, man. We know how you devils operate inside, man. We know we got y'all's, man. We got y'all number. Like the scripture says about how we've been blessed, that we've been given an unction that we know of all things. We know how you devils move it, man. Okay, you can't pull the wool over our eyes. Now, you could pull the wool over many other people's eyes, but you can't do it to us. Because we see right through this bullshit that you're trying to convey to us, man. It ain't working, Esau.
If I may, this is a good point, because back in the day, Esau used to be slick, man. Razor sharp with his
narratives.
Yeah, his narratives. For example, look at when they shot John F. Kennedy.
Yes.
That was, tight.
That was slick. Yeah.
It took them ages to expose what was really going on there, but check this out. Now he's just getting sloppy, and it looks bad. Do you remember, was it a year or two ago when he tried to say that some Hebrew Israelite had a pipe bomb and they went into some Jewish deli
Yeah, I
and all this kind of rubbish? What happened to that? See, he tried it, but it didn't work. And that's because obviously the Spirit of the Most High is keeping us safe from that, but he's still trying his psyops every way he can. Because this guy, everything that comes out this man's mouth is a fucking lie anyway.
Yeah, it's all shenanigans. It's all bullshit, and that's what we see it to be. We're not taking heed to what this is said in what this is saying in Huffington Post. We don't care about, the UN is calling for the world. We're supposed to be happy about it. They finally paying attention to the plight of us.
They're gonna give us 40 acres in the mule.
Yeah, and we're gonna be happy as all ever after. Come on, dog. Like really? Nah. What's gonna happen is you devils, man, and all the you other nations that's a part of the UN. And you know what too? Speaking of the UN, there's not even a member that's even of our race.
Yeah.
To represent their people in the UN either. I wonder why, because these other nations know who the hell we are, man.
Yeah.
Like when you read the book of Psalms 83, if you can, brother.
Can't.
Give me Psalms 83. And it talks about all of these other nations being incented against us. If you can.
Yeah, I got you.
These other nations, they know who we are, and they're going to make sure that, because you got to understand, all of these other nations have the children of Israel in slavery somehow, some way. Now, we can even look at the Indians. The Indians got Israelites in slavery, such as the Dalits and other groups out there that are being oppressed by the actual Elamites there. And then if you go to, let's just say, Iran, you probably have a group of Israelites that are being oppressed down in their country, okay, that look like the actual people in Iran. Again, Elamites. So Israel has been scattered among the nations and therefore being oppressed among all of these nations. Go on, brother.
Psalms 83 from the top. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power.
Yeah.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Yeah.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right. And where's the dollars? Where's the dollar to represent the dollars of India in the UN? You're not going to find any, because they don't give a fuck about the children of Israel. They don't give a damn about us.
Yep.
The reason why we're not there in the midst of their congregation, because they're talking about us. What can we do to these people? What can we do to keep them oppressed? What can we do to psychologically destroy them? That's what they're doing. And it's in Psalms 83. Let's read this again.
Khan, it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Yeah.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
That's the point. Let us cut them off from being a nation, because they know who we are. They know we're not just known. They know that we're not just black. They know that we're not African. They know who the hell we are. So why is it that the children of Israel, which is what we are, why is it that we're the least of all of the nations of every country we go to? Because they know our potential. They know our power. They know our historical documentation. Right? And when you study a nation's history, you get to know that nation up and down, in and out. So when you actually do the research of our history is vast as hell. Okay, we got history in England, which they don't want to disclose that to the public too tough. You got to go do some digging to find that out. We got history in France. We got history in Germany. We got history all over the fucking place, man. It's crazy. Like, we're everywhere. Like, Esau will have you believe that we just got history in one part of the land of the earth, which is Africa. Oh, we'll just give you Mansa Musa, or we give you this, or we give you that. But nah. If you were to actually do research of our history is crazy wide, crazy abundant. So that lets you know how powerful we are as a people, that we could have done so much and contributed so much on the earth that even the majority of the people don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's why this devil and these other nations have been so steady on our shoulders by holding us down and oppressing us. Because if they don't oppress us, we're going to go above them and we're going to take over them, as well as take over their world like we did in ancient Rome. They don't want to repeat that. Go on, brother. And that's why if you look at all of the political heads, and especially down here in the UK, they're either so-called white people or they're Elamites.
Yeah.
The Elamites.
So it says,
go on, brother.
Yeah. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Yeah.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
With one consent. That's the UN. When them nations come together, they're at one consent. And you better believe they're talking about us behind closed doors, man. They've been talking about us. That's why they're now talking about, oh, well, we're calling for the world now to give reparations. Yeah, because these people, they see, especially the chief, whoever that chief is, we don't, I mean, you say is a woman, but we don't know what nationality she is to be exact. I'm probably thinking she's probably a so-called white woman or a so-called Jew. One of the two. No, the woman on the...
Oh, in the article, okay.
Yeah. So one of the two, right? This brother says, you know, she could be a so-called black woman, but we don't really know. But I'm more leaning towards her being an Edomite. But yeah, she's calling on the world to give reparations because they actually see what's about to go down. The powers that be, that's telling the chief of the UN what to do, they know it's about to go down. They see the signs in the heaven.
What?
They hear what we're talking about. They're hearing our voices and they're paying close attention to what we're saying. And think about it. Like, here it is, right? As they've claimed us to be, as they entitled us to be, black, African, and they know who the hell we are, right? So why would you pay attention to black people, to a no people?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Because again, they know who we are.
Exactly.
That's why they call us black people, so that people can be blacked away from the truth.
Yeah.
As to who we are. Go on, brother.
So reading on back in Psalms 83.
And I don't cut you too. And the reason why they have to now pay more attention to us, because we're finding out who we are.
Right.
And we're the Israelites now. So now that we found out who we are, we have another title.
Right.
which sends off a different vibration. And our title is what?
Right.
The Israelites.
Yeah.
That's why these motherfuckers are paying attention.
That's a good point. And if I may, isn't it strange how they allow in this society a man to self-identify, to say, well, I identify as a woman, so you have to call me a woman now.
Yeah.
Well, we self-identify as the Hebrew Israelites, but yet you don't want to accept it.
You know what I mean?
Coming against it.
And you know what, too? What we could do, technically what we could actually do, we could actually, you know, we could actually say that to the government. We could say, look, man, I'd rather you not call us black.
I was thinking
They could actually change the you know when you go apply for a job or whatever you go apply for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's got all of the list of these races there. Yeah, it's got Pakistan or black or black British. We could say, look, we don't want to go by black British. I want to go by being called an Israelite. I mean, like, think about it. Because I sent you that video in it with the boxer, what's his name, man?
Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So if people are able to change who they are and they're able to change their sexual organs to something else, then goddamn it, we can change. We could change the
Get back
from
to
being called black to being called Israelites.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's more videos about servicing what Joe. I don't know if it's because of what Joe. You know, he's known in that circuit. He's known. So there's more people coming out and saying,
yeah,
my perception, like the LGBT, that's your perception. So if I want to be identified as a Korean, which that video I put up, he says he wants to be identified. Is it Edomite wants to be identified as a Korean? Maybe that's trying to run away from
the
there.
devil was born here in the UK. He don't know nothing about no fucking Korea. But he's coming out into the world declaring that, oh, I'm Korean. Come on, man. Like, so if a motherfucker could do something like that, then shit, we could go out there and showcase and change our names. We can tell the government, look, we don't want to be called black no more. We don't want to be called African. Call us Israelites, and they have to respect that.
But you know what they won't know, unfortunately. But it goes back to the curses of Deuteronomy 28. That will be a proverb and a byword. So this is part of the affliction that we have to deal with.
No, but brother, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, because a man can change his sex and if you don't call him a woman, you're a hater.
You're a hater. Yeah.
What they call it? What they call it when you don't want to hug a homosexual? You're a homophobic.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I see what you're saying.
The same way you gotta respect a man when he says he's a woman. It's the same way they might as well respect us when we call ourselves the Israelites.
That's right. You're right. But
and even vice versa. If a woman wants to be declared as a man, the world gotta respect that. You can't call that woman.
Backfiring on their motherfucking ass.